mission. You must precede the Nazi force and secure the artifact, then get to the extraction point before they arrive. Failure to do so will result in being hopelessly outnumbered.
It's time we take the fight.
The latest news we have of the Allied invasion of northwestern France is still an escalation from the associated.
For fulfilling his high objective.
Dann tritt wirklich ein, so wie ich für dich
Along the whole North African coastline, the Allies can strike simultaneously.
Well, hello! Welcome, everybody, to Am I the Asshole? Here's my buddy Dark Gift, munching on something. What you munching on there?
I was just opening up a cigarette.
Oh, chewing on cigarettes.
Yeah, you know.
Time to travel back in time and stop Adolf Hillary. Checks out.
Adolf
If you could
Hitler.
go back in time and change one thing in history, DG, what would it be?
Like,
There are things that happen in the world that have changed the course of history far more than Hitler or World War II. If you could go back to any point in history and make a change, what would it be? While you think about that, I'm going to say hello to Low Fat Water and Gratish Crosby. Hello. Welcome also, Praetor 7.
I don't know if you consider this a change, but I'd want to go back in time and see what happened at Jonestown.
What is that? Oh, the cult?
No, the first settlement in the States that disappeared.
Oh, right. Right.
I'd go
Hey,
back
what up,
and
Linkovich?
see what happened at Jonestown, and then if Jonestown, like if it was like horrendous and like things didn't maybe I change it. But like if they deserve their shit, like their fate, I might just leave it alone. But that's what I would do. I'd go back to Jonestown and check out like what the hell is Roanoke? Like right? Like
I don't know what you're talking about. What is Roanoke? Is that a place? Is that a person?
that was what was written on the tree. It was carved into the tree when they came back and found the settlement gone.
Are you talking about the settlement that had treasure?
No.
What are you talking about? I thought I knew what you were talking about. I'm completely lost.
Jonestown mystery. No, that's that.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how you would affect change, right? I know you can go and be a fly on the wall and observe. I don't know what my rules are for this scenario. So there's this great channel on YouTube where this guy goes back and takes all of these battles from movies and then interjects what do you call it? Modern military hardware and see how long they he did the Battle of Helm's Deep from the second Lord of the Rings, and how long would the orcs have lasted if there was a battalion of fully equipped modern soldiers? Shit like that. Let's just say you can't.
Yeah, I mean, you probably can't, I don't
Link
know.
says, Dillard, your link doesn't go to a page where you can buy the book, does it? I mean, I thought it did. Hold on a second. There's somebody here in the back. Everybody welcome Fusebox.
What's up?
Hey, Ben.
What's going on?
Chilling.
If you could go back in time and change one thing in history, what would it be? Fusebox.
I'd probably not get as drunk in college, and I would launch Outlaw Nights 20 years ago when it was just like a novel thing to crowdfund, because then I'd be rich and famous.
I'd like to
Makes
correct
sense.
myself, Dillard. I said Jonestown, but it was actually Jamestown. My bad.
Jamestown. So when you said Jonestown, I was right when I said
The ones that killed themselves, yeah.
the cult. Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy got me. He got me fucking double guessing myself from the onset of this story. Shit. I ought to be more confident in what I say, what I think. All right. So, for those of you who don't know, Am I the Asshole is where we do deep dives and deep thaws into assholery. Read stories of people who are not sure whether or not they are acting like assholes in a particular given situation. So we read their situations aloud, ponder them, and then come to a decision collectively. Sometimes we don't. Sometimes Dark Gibbs likes to be the odd man out and just take a crazy stance for no reason.
Yeah, it's Dark Gift. He's the one who does that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, just a for instance, we'll start with this story. I'm almost positive that he's going to have opposite opinion of the correct one. All right, here we go. Check this out. Here's our first story. Everyone pay attention. Whoops, I just skipped all the way down. Okay. I was just at my girlfriend's mom's birthday party. We ordered an expensive cake for her and split the cost 3 ways with her sisters. Her brother, who never contributes to any of the shared presents, brought his spoiled 2-year-old kid. While everyone was singing happy birthday, the kid started sticking his hands into the cake and licking them and picking off the decorations. I looked around in horror, but her brother and his wife were just smiling at this like it was the absolute cutest thing ever. And everyone else was totally unfazed and said nothing. I bit my tongue and didn't say anything either. But I reached over and moved the cake a few inches out of reach of the kid. Immediately, the kid starts thrashing around and screaming bloody murder. Everyone glared at me like I was the most evil piece of shit on earth for doing what I did and rushed to placate the kid. Oh, you poor little thing, and giving him cake. I doubled down and calmly, rationally said what the kid was doing was incredibly unhygienic. It wasn't his birthday cake, and he's old enough to be taught to wait literally 1 minute until he gets a slice of cake instead of destroying someone else's birthday cake and covering it with his germs. Now I'm being made out to be a huge asshole for doing and saying this, and I ruined the party, quote unquote. Considering it's the entire family's reaction, it's making me start to question whether or not I am just a grumpy asshole. Is she an asshole?
I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say yes. She should have let the kid destroy the cake.
Is
Because
it a
that's-
she or a he? I was just at my girlfriend's. I mean, I guess it could be a she.
Oh, well, in that case, he is the asshole.
I don't know. I'm not. I feel like.
Well, think of it like this, right? Just think about this scenario. Because I'm saying he's an asshole. Or if she's a she's an asshole. I think it's a he though. So this is my take on it. He's a boyfriend. He's not part of the. He's the boyfriend of the girl. The guy. This is the. And what it sounds like is it's the only grandchild of the late. It's the mom's birthday, and her grandbaby is poking at the cake.
It sounds like he's doing more than poking at the cake, but all right, yeah.
Oh well, poking and eating, poking at the cake, fucking with the cake. I don't know. What do you want me to say? I'm not trying to play it down. He's fucking the cake up, right? But and the thing is, it's my girlfriend's mom's birthday party. We ordered an expensive cake for her and split the cost 3 ways with her sisters. So his girlfriend has a sister or 2 sisters.
2 sisters and a brother.
And a brother who didn't contribute, but the brother has a 2-year-old kid.
Right.
And the brother has a wife.
And it sounds like this came out of his pocket. Like, we'd order an expensive cake for her to split 3 ways with her sisters. It sounds like he paid for the, it was his money that got chipped in, And cakes can be pretty expensive, man. I've seen, I deal with cakes all the time. Like, some of these cakes cost like
this guy's a fucking cake expert over here.
$200, $300. So even on the low end, let's say $150. That's $50 a piece.
Okay, so it's $50 a piece. What do you want your money back? It's a cake. It's gonna get eaten.
Yeah, but he has a say in. I think he has a say.
Yeah, guys, shit. You don't have a say in it. What are you talking about?
I think he does. I'm saying I think he does.
It's not even his mom. It's his girlfriend's mom.
Yeah, but he paid.
She probably paid.
When the cake hit the table, he transferred ownership.
He transferred ownership. No, I listen, I get it, right? And of course this family, I think the family's an asshole for coddling a 2-year-old kid and not fucking disciplining him. But hey, that's just me.
Like, let's say you have a toddler, right? And I know this is not a 1-to-1 equivalent. A 1-to-1 equivalent would just be rereading this story. But I'm saying, like, let's say you're outside, you're like, oh, I have I brought something that were a bowl of watermelon slices for a picnic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's mine, and I am giving my toddler watermelon slices, and she's reaching in there with her dirty hands and grabbing her own pieces or whatever, and I'm letting her do it. But you bought me these watermelon slices. They're mine because you gave them to me, but you bought them. And I'm letting my kid, I quote unquote, ruin them. I'm still enjoying it. The kid's enjoying it. But in your eyes, I have now ruined the bowl of watermelon.
Yeah, for everybody else.
I don't know. This guy seems too separated from the situation to have such a, and then he has the audacity while everybody's singing happy birthday or gathering around to sing happy birthday, because he said literally it would be 1 minute until the cake is cut, to go and reach and move the cake away from the kid. Now, if the kid is at the table, I'm assuming the dad's holding the toddler. So, and you know what? You know why it might be even more egregious? If the toddler has the audacity to blow out the mom's candles. What a nightmare.
Nah, you let the kids do that. That I get. I get letting like your grandkid or your kid blow out the candles with you or whatever. But this kid, he's probably got snot dripping out of his nose, and now he's sticking his hand in the cake. Come on, man. No.
He is. He's doing that, yeah.
Yeah. You move the cake. The first move was good. You just kind of slightly move it while no one's looking.
And then if a bunch of women are hanging around and you are a guy and you're bringing up, this is unhygienic, you're a fag.
Well, I wouldn't say unhygienic. I would definitely not
but
use
he
that
did.
term. He did here, yeah.
Because it seems like he completely, in my eyes, completely misread the room. Now I'm being made out to be a huge asshole for saying, not only is he being made out to be a huge asshole for saying this, not just by the brother and the wife, of the grandchild of the mother whose birthday it was, but also probably her sisters as well, and probably the mom.
Right. Which this is
Considering it's the entire family's reaction, making me start to question whether or not I am just a grumpy asshole.
Nah, I say get out of that family. That kid's gonna be a terror till the day he fucking moves out.
But you don't have to deal with him ever.
Well, you have to deal with him at birthday parties, you know.
Yeah, Christmas.
Grant says he's the only sensible one there. Find a girlfriend from a better. You guys are all
Yes.
grumpy old people.
Yep, I'm with Grantish over here. Hell yeah.
They say, "Oh, don't you want to see my mom?
No,
see
because-
the cake that we bought? Yeah, I'll go see. Oh, did you see the cake? Oh, cool. I doubt you would have to come and get me because I'll probably be smoking a cigarette somewhere. They're
'Cause
cutting the
what's
cake. Can you come inside? Oh, fucking fine, whatever.
What's gonna happen is you're gonna have kids with this woman, and she's gonna coddle your kids the same way these people are coddling that kid. No, get out of it. You're not an asshole. Get out of it. Run like hell.
Can he get out of it and be an asshole?
No.
Well, see, I don't think that's very fair.
So what would you do? What would you do if you wanted to leave this relationship, but you wanted to leave it with a hoorah? How would you do it? How would you get this kid back?
Oh yeah, I'm not getting the kid back. It's not the kid's fault. He's only 2. This is what he's being taught.
He should know better.
He should know better.
Just saying.
That's right. I would have had the belt across my back if I did that shit. Or the wooden spoon, whichever was closer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I'll be honest here. I do believe that age has a lot to do with it. And a toddler is a lot different than a little kid.
Correct.
Toddlers, I'm assuming from the name, toddlers, are just learning how to walk. They're probably around between the ages of 1 and 3. Like, that's a real little kid. And real little kids, I don't know. I just don't see real little kids as even being gross. It's not like they're over there fucking taking a leak and didn't wash their hands or something. They're basically just big babies.
Yeah, but they're crawling around with their hands on the floor, rubbing their nose.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm not blaming the kid. I'm not blaming a 2-year-old for being a 2-year-old. I'm blaming the family for letting the 2-year-old act like a 2-year-old when this guy was clearly in the right. And then getting mad at him for it. The reason why they got mad at him for it was because they all felt like he was being superior to them. And he wasn't. He was just trying to correct the kid's behavior. But they're going to let their insecurities make him out to be the asshole. Because they know what they're doing is wrong.
Is it?
Yes!
It's it's the kid's responsibility. And
I
he
feel like
failed.
this guy's kind of taking out his, I don't know, insecurity about, like, he probably got in a fight about having to pay for this cake or chip in on it or something, and now he wants to say in how it's executed. Like, dude.
Alex says that's it, Kick Dillard.
He's really fucking involved emotionally.
Nah, man, he just doesn't want to eat kid snot.
I mean, you got to take one for the team sometimes.
Let's start the poll in the chat. I don't know. I'm having a hard time seeing it. Because even before I had kids, I wasn't that like, oh, that kid's fucking fingering the cake, or I wasn't that concerned about that.
No, what's gonna happen is when this kid turns 3 and has a little more coordination, he's gonna be picking up like a lighter or a book of matches, and these people are just gonna let him play with it.
Oh, you're out of your mind.
I'm out of my mind. You wait and see a year from now when this guy writes another Reddit post, and the kid burnt down his fucking living room.
Alex says this is like the time Dillard hid all the hammers from his wife. Michael T says they did not hide them. They were in the golf cart where they belong. Exactly. This place she should have looked. I don't know. This.
Praetor says Dylan likes licking food off other people's fingers.
I do, yeah. No, like, okay, there's this fantasy that a lot of people have, and it is 100% a fantasy, that they want their kid to be like Anne of Green Gables, or they want their kid to be like Jane Eyre, where the kid gets up, takes off their sleeping gown, folds it, puts it in their chifforobe, and then gets dressed for the day and everything, and plays with their toys very gingerly, and is very clean and puts everything. That shit just does not happen.
No, I get that. I totally get that. Like I said, I'm not blaming
Like,
the
if
kid
you
for
were-
being a kid.
Yeah, because like when you're in right now, like we normally most people, right? They work all fucking day, and then when the weekend hits or it's time to have a birthday party, whatever, they usually let rules slide. And if you're like gonna be sitting there and you're gonna be like, I need my kid to sit there with his hands folded and behave himself demurely while this is happening, like I kind of feel like that's unreasonable.
No, I don't think that's what this guy's saying. I think what this guy's saying is like, just don't let the kid put his hand in the cake, and then when he throws a hissy fit, if you turn around and you can say, relax, calm down, he should listen and relax and calm down. I'm not saying that, like, he shouldn't be a kid, but they should be parents.
No.
No.
Let's see what the chat has to say about that. I'm probably an asshole. I'm probably. What the fuck is that?
That is my dog.
It's a wild animal.
Up, 2 dogs. Oh, great. Sorry.
All right. The poll has ended. 30% to 70%. The poster is not an asshole for being mean to a dog.
Tim Olson says, let's factor in that DG has no kids. That's an argument of authoritarian, like, what's they call that? An argument of authority or something like that?
From a position of authority, yeah.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
An appeal to authority.
Appeal to authority, thank you. I couldn't remember the saying. That's bullshit, Tim. Just because I don't have kids doesn't mean I wouldn't know how to raise them. You know? And again, I'm not blaming the kid.
I don't know. You kind of are.
No, I'm blaming the parents. And the aunts and the grandmother. This is a generational thing. This all stems from grandma. Grandma raised these kids wrong.
Then why is he with one of them?
Well, I'm telling him he should get the fuck out now because that's how your kids are going to get raised if you have
So
kids
either
with this
everybody in the world is wrong or you are, DG. I don't know.
Well, right now, I got 70% of the chat on my side and this guy. And it's just you two.
Yeah, but these are all grumpy
pretty
old men.
And I'm pretty sure you paid them off.
And the shitty family. You two and the shitty family.
We're moving on.
Anthony.
Enough of your guys and your nonsense.
Hold on, I gotta go grab my other pack of cigarettes. I'll be right back.
All right. While he's doing that, I'm going to read this story. Hopefully he has his earbuds in. All right. Here we go. 20 years old. My dad made some friends when he studied abroad. One of them is on a visit in our country right now, and he brought his daughter, who's 11 years old, with him. He asked if I could take her to our national museum since it's good for kids to practice some art appreciation. I said sure. She wasn't very enthusiastic about it, though. When we were waiting for the opening time, she pointed at a nearby cafe and asked if I could buy her a cup of coffee, saying it's the least I could do before making her spend 2 hours looking at boring stuff. I hesitated, and she said her dad lets her drink latte. So I called him just to check, and he said yes before asking, "Did you think my daughter's a liar?" I didn't know what to say. It didn't occur to me that she was, or when I was insinuating that when just expressing my doubt. I just wanted to be sure. I ended up buying her an oat milk latte, her preference, before taking her on a tour. Don't know if I was too anxious, but when I took her back to the hotel, her dad seemed kind of frosty towards me. Was that an asshole move?
Huh. I mean, maybe an unintentional one. She didn't mean it.
All right, I'm back.
Welcome
Did
back.
you read it?
Yep.
All right, let me read it real quick. I'll mute.
Yeah. So here's the way I think about this. This lady, 100% not an asshole. Now, this right here, this exhibition of behavior by this daughter and this guy, this shit right here is a red flag.
I think I know. Yeah.
This is like the opposite end of the story we just read. Like, this is like what, like, the dad lets her drink latte, and he's like, "So you think my daughter is a liar?" What kind of question is that to somebody who's doing you a favor and is calling you about an 11-year-old drinking latte? You shouldn't have questions whatsoever. You are a visiting foreigner, and you don't know the ways of America. And you're going to throw out, this is a very fucking European thing to do, to fucking throw out an accusation. It's disgusting. I think both of these motherfuckers need to go back to where they came from.
This is not an asshole. I agree, not an asshole. Yes, of course I thought your kid was lying. They're 11 and they want a coffee, and you're not around. That's what kids do.
Aye.
Listen, all this stuff is coming from experience. I was the bad kid. So.
I was an angel. The world thought I was bad, but I was good.
All right, the poll is up. I'm letting you vote, Linkovich. He says, "Let me vote," and he puts an American flag emoji. Praetor says, "Deport them. Un-American." Yeah, this is fucking, this whole situation fucking stinks. I don't know if this is a lady or a guy. It doesn't say. I'm assuming it's a girl, right? I wouldn't let my 11-year-old daughter go with my buddy's 20-year-old son anywhere. So I'm assuming it's a chick. Took her to a museum, doing him a solid by taking her to the National Museum. And he says, "Hey, your kid wants a latte. Is she allowed to have lattes?" You think my daughter is a liar? Who the fuck does this piece of shit think he is?
Yeah, right. I just want to make sure I'm not.
This kid would immediately be driven back home and being like, "You owe me fucking, gas money," and fuck off.
This sounds like it's in another country too. Because like if it was here, they'd be like, one of them came to the States. Like that's how we would say it. You know what I mean? Not one of them is on a visit in our country.
Good Lord.
Sounds like some fucking Norwegian. "My daughter needs to practice art appreciation."
Yeah.
What a fucking queer. Oh, this angers me up. This fucking post angered me so much.
Yeah, because like you don't know, like so next time this happens, you take the kid, and anytime the kid, you just load the kid up on a bunch of candy and pizza, and you be like, "Listen, I didn't want to call you and double check. I didn't know what the kid could have, but last time I called to double check, you got all snippy.
So I went tell a personal story. We took my my nephew to Disneyland, and he really wanted to go to Disneyland, but the mom and dad, they were actually starting up a new business. They couldn't actually get away. And they were like, yeah, we'll take him, whatever. So we bought the tickets and took him to Disneyland. He was little kid, maybe 4 or 5, maybe 6. But we've known him since he was born, right?
Right.
And I think we were there maybe two hours. And we were at that little station right before you get to Tom Sawyer Island. We were getting something to eat. And he started crying and would not stop crying because he missed his parents and he wanted to go home. We're like, okay, fine. I wasn't happy about it because I paid for fucking 3 Disneyland tickets that ain't cheap. And we were only there for 2 hours, but whatever, we'll take this kid home. And we did it slowly. We did it slowly just in case he changed his mind and we could enjoy the rest of the day. But nope. After about leaving for 30 minutes, he was still inconsolable. And as we got back, not as we got back, but after we dropped him off, I got a phone call from my brother-in-law, and he was like, "Hey, sorry about that, right? Do you want me to shoot you some cash to reimburse you for the tickets and all that?" And I'm like, "No, don't worry about it. Don't worry." So after that happens, that goes away. The next time it comes around where we're going to take him out, I just want to make sure. I was like, well, make sure that he won because I don't want a repeat of what happened last time, right? And then he was like, I thought you said it was cool. Like, if it was a problem, why didn't you take the money? Am I the asshole in that situation?
No, because it wasn't about the money. It was about the...
Am I the asshole for being like, make sure that doesn't happen again because I don't want it to happen again?
No. If you're
because that's me saying it was a big deal. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you just want to make sure that the kid's going to enjoy himself if you're taking him out. Otherwise, like, why waste everybody's time? No, I don't think you're an asshole at all.
Interesting. Grantis Crosby says Dillard not the asshole that time. All right, let's end this poll. Well, the poll has 100% no, not an asshole. Yeah, excellent. I agree with that. You guys are great. All right, we'll move on to the next story. Here we go. So this is probably going to sound really dumb and unimportant, especially with all the serious things usually posted here, but I wanted to hear some unbiased opinion on my situation. So a few months ago, me and 2 of my friends went to a water park. After hanging out and swimming for a bit, we decided to get some food. We decided that I would pay for the nachos and drinks, and Jay would pay for the ice cream, because I didn't have enough to pay for nachos and drinks and ice cream for 3 of us. And Jay didn't have enough money to pay for nachos and drinks, but she did have enough to cover the ice cream. M, the other person, however, didn't have any money because her family is struggling right now. So we both paid for her. I bought the nachos and drinks, and after we were done, Jay got up, bought herself a hot pretzel. Em and I didn't think anything of it. We figured that she decided she wanted a pretzel instead of ice cream because they cost the same amount. But after she finished her pretzel, she left and got back in the water. We caught up to her and asked her about paying for the ice cream. Sorry. She ignored us and kept swimming. I only paid for the nachos and drinks under the assumption that she would pay for our ice cream. Otherwise, I would have let her pay for her own nachos and drinks. I told her as much, and she called me an asshole and a control freak for trying to tell her what to do with her money. Am I the asshole?
No.
These girls sound like they're 13, 14.
I'm not answering because I want to hear how Dillard spins this.
No, definitely not. Like, if you have an arrangement with somebody, you got to live up to your end of the bargain. You can't just weasel out of it.
Okay, here we go.
No. I'm waiting for you to talk because I have to write the question on this poll. Fusebox, come on, get with it.
I'm staying neutral.
Well, I guess we'll sit here in silence as I type out this question.
Preacher
All right.
Both sides are assholes. I gotta agree. If you don't have enough money to go out, don't go out. But if you do, and you're like pooling your money together and figuring out how it's gonna get spent, then yeah, the J is the bigger of the assholes.
I always went out when I didn't have enough money to go out. You know.
Let's be honest here. When do you ever have enough money to go out?
Right. Yeah.
I always want to buy something I can't afford when I go out. But no, I mean the thing is, like, these sound like they're younger teens. Like, not older teens, probably younger teens at a water park. I have the money for nachos and drinks, and then they're not even like getting food, right? They're getting snacks. They're getting nachos and a drink, and then they're gonna eat ice cream after. Not like they're buying burgers and shit, but which means we're not talking about like a bunch of money here,
Right.
and they've got each other's money counted out to the point where she knows that the ice cream costs the same as a hot pretzel, and we still need you to give us money for 2 ice creams. That's what we're waiting on. We're waiting for you to give us 2 ice creams. Now, the girl who don't have money at all don't have really any room to speak. She's just kind of at the whim
mercy,
of
yeah.
her 2 friends, right? Because she's broke. And the one who already forked the bill over to pay for the nachos and drinks for everybody else, she's the one that's like, she's the poster here. She does have the moral standing to be like, I need you to, at the very least, get me ice cream. Maybe not her, but you need to get me ice cream.
Right. I just paid for your nachos and your drink.
It strikes me as hard to believe that she did not have the money for the ice creams. She is either at this point pulling some sort of rank or attempting to punk the girl with money.
Correct.
So anything that happens after that, even if they get fucking socks or fist fight or whatever, is justifiable. So in no scenario that I can think of in my head is the original poster an asshole.
I agree.
Oh, I mean, I knew people like that growing up. It was the worst. Where I would like pay for something for them, and then like later on when I needed something, they would just pretend like they didn't hear me. That was bullshit.
Grantis Crosby says, typical poor girl summer. Oh, they're kids. You can't really blame a girl for having no money anyway. I mean, like, it's a girl. What, are they supposed to go get a job or something?
Yes.
No.
Right away.
Girls have whatever money their parents give them until they get married, and then they have whatever money their husband gives them. Praetor says maybe she didn't want anybody to get the bins. Did they wait 2 hours? No, that makes her an even bigger asshole. This girl jumped right back into the pool.
Sounds like she
with
went
her
in the pool
with her pretzel.
With the pretzel. Pretzel got all wet and soggy. Now there's bits and pieces of mushy pretzel floating around the pool.
I feel like this was pretty clear that the poster's not an asshole. She's justifiably upset and should probably do something about it.
Yeah, hopefully she's the one with the ride, so they just ditch her ass there.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Like,
all right, I'm ending this poll.
Even if
I don't even care what Grantis Crosby thinks. I'm gonna say I'm ending this poll.
What's it called? Even if like it's like the parents picking him up and mom comes and goes, "Hey, where's Jay?" Be like, "Oh, Jay left already. We don't know where she went."
I think she left with some guy I saw.
Yeah, an older guy, Ma. You should call him.
25% of the chat have found a way to think that this girl is an asshole. That's curious. I would like to know your reasoning for that. If you could type out a quick reasoning as to why you think this girl is the asshole
Yeah, seriously. How did you come to that conclusion?
for calling her friend to account. Yeah, I don't know. There is a slim chance. Okay, there is a slim chance that she didn't know how much money her friend had. Maybe her friend didn't have money, but that you shouldn't have said you would buy whatever if you didn't have the money to buy whatever. It's okay to be broke. It's not okay to lie about it.
Alex says 25% of the chat has mooch nachos and drinks.
Oh, exactly.
Praetor says there was never any agreement signed.
Those were all the people who did that when they were kids.
Oh, Low Fat says I accidentally hit the yes button. Praetor says, to be honest, I don't remember what I voted. Come on, you gotta take this stuff serious. This is my life. All right. Next story. A few nights ago, we had a pretty nasty storm roll through town. There was a lot of wind and even some downed trees and power outages in my area. My neighbor's American flag that he has hung up on the front porch detached from the side of the house and blew over into my yard. It was already pretty tattered up before the storm and was in extra rough shape by the time it blew into my yard. Well, I was picking up after the storm and noticed the flag. It was dirty at this point, too. The whites of the stripes were brown. I picked it up and threw it in the garbage bin on the side of my house. My neighbor allegedly must have watched me throw it away or noticed it hanging partially out of the bin because he stomped over into my yard, retrieved it from the trash, and then pounded on my door to confront me about it. When I opened the door, I couldn't even get a word in before he was screaming at the top of his lungs. He's apparently a veteran. I deciphered that yesterday from his incoherent outburst. I tried to interject multiple times, but he started getting more confrontational, approaching me with his finger out, pointing at me, scolding me. I slammed the door in his face, and after 5 minutes of him loitering on my property while yelling through the doorbell camera, I called the police. Police approached, and he was talking to them for a bit, but he would not calm down, and the police eventually had to detain him. His wife later went to SM and wrote some long-winded post about how veterans get no respect in this country and something about respecting the flag. I got a few messages from close family and friends, but ignored them. My wife is catching hell from other neighbors, and they're saying that at the very least I need to replace the flag that I stole and disposed of illegally. He couldn't respect the flag he claims to love so much, and that was made clear by the condition he allowed it to get in. Therefore, I will not be replacing the flag. Am I the asshole?
Absolutely. This dude is the biggest asshole. He's some communist prick, too.
I would say yeah.
You don't throw your neighbor's property away because you think it's in bad condition.
Yeah.
And number two, you don't throw a American flag in the garbage. There's a proper way to dispose of it.
I throw American flags in the garbage all the time.
No.
You bastard.
Yeah, my wife usually goes out every year and buys like 30 American flags that you stick into the ground for 4th of July.
Oh, yeah, those.
And then she doesn't even bother to pluck them out of the ground and put them away.
Those are different. I'm talking about like a real flag.
This guy's flag was a piece of shit anyway. So keep your piece of shit in your yard, and when your garbage falls in my yard, and I do you the common courtesy of helping your old ass out by cleaning up your garbage in my yard, you don't come over and start poking your finger in my fucking chest unless you want to catch an uppercut.
Maybe return the garbage. Don't take it upon yourself to throw my shit away when a storm blows it in your yard.
I'm going to go over to your house and be like, hey, bang on your door, be like, your fucking trash is in my yard, asshole. I've been cleaning up this whole fucking morning. Where are you at? Are you sitting in the house looking through your fucking blinds at me cleaning up, seeing what I'm going to do with this flag? Or are you gonna get off your fucking fat veteran ass and come over here and pick up your trash?
And
I never
deck you square in the face.
thought.
You're a veteran. You ain't gonna do shit. You're old.
Now we're hearing Dillard. You know, in order to be contrarian, he's going against America. You heard it here.
Low Fat Water says, "Fucking commie. I need a refund for the buckler. No refunds." But no, I mean, I really don't care what it. I mean, okay, let's say for instance, you have a brand new trampoline and it flies over into my yard in a windstorm, and it gets caught up on the fence and it gets all ripped up and shit. And I'm like, but you bought this trampoline. I know my neighbors. My neighbors are pretty old. They bought the trampoline for their grandkids when they come over. Do I do her a solid and disassemble the shit and chuck it away? Or do I go and tell them to come and pick up their trampoline?
No, you pull it off your fence, you put it down in their yard, and you say, "Yo, the fucking storm blew your trampoline over, and it's a little beat up now. What do you want? Do you want to throw it away? You let them decide if they want to throw it away or not. You don't take it upon yourself to throw it away."
I guess we're not seeing eye to eye, because I think the major point of contention with me and your point of view is that I see it as something that's obviously trash.
But it's not yours to decide if it's trash or not. That's what I think. That's where we're having the disconnect. Maybe that flag was
like
the flag
I see
he
it as
brought
no
home
different
from the
than
war.
somebody, my neighbor's like old palm fronds falling off their tree and into my yard.
But maybe that flag, like I said, maybe that flag was the flag he brought home with him from the war, and he's had it for 25 years, 30 years, 40 years, whatever it's
And
been.
he doesn't take it down when there's a storm coming?
No. It could be sentimental.
Oh,
Could be. But I don't know. And what's the reasonable time frame to come and collect your shit?
I mean, I don't know. You know? Even your wife says, have some empathy, Dillard.
He's old and disabled. Have some empathy. I did have some empathy. I threw away his trash that was in my yard.
That's not empathy. That's convenient for you.
He did it for him.
It's dirtying up my lawn.
All you gotta do is put it back on his. You don't have to knock on the door. Just throw it back on his lawn.
You don't think that's an asshole move?
No, not as much as throwing it in the garbage. Like I would knock on the
Awfully
door.
silent on this fuse, but what's going on?
I've been enjoying watching you turn against America.
Yes.
Just so you can be contrarian.
I'm gonna ban Michael T. He's telling my wife says he's old and disabled. He says, "Mrs. Dillard, we know about John. We're talking about the veteran." Enjoy your time out, Michael T.
Serena.
Grantis Crosby says, "I live next to a military base and am surrounded by vets. Some of them served honorably and are assholes too."
Oh, Lord.
Somewhere in heaven, there are some vets just waiting for John to show up.
So the poll now is in the chat. You guys can make your decision. I'm standing by mine.
No, this guy was the asshole. I mean, You know, I mean, and again, like even if it wasn't an American flag, it's like Dark Gift is right. You don't throw something away that's somebody else's property. Like, doesn't matter if it's crap or not. Like, yeah.
Okay, I guess so.
It's the truth. And the truth will set you free.
If you say so.
I think he just didn't like his neighbor and threw it away on purpose.
I think he might just be a communist, like he said, you know. Just wanted to start something. Wants us all reading Das Kapital, you know.
Alex says, maybe he didn't do it to be an asshole. Maybe he was just stupid and ignorant.
I mean,
stupid and ignorant is not a defense.
Stupid and ignorant means you're an asshole. Yeah. Karina, for God's sake.
See, I'm reading this for. Let me read.
You know, you can't break a law like not knowing that it was a law and then use that as a defense. Ignorance of the law is not a defense. Ignorance of like common decency is not a defense.
So what is the difference? Let me ask you this. What is the difference of his flag being tattered up and on the floor, not collected by him, or in the exact same condition inside somebody's trash bin, not collected by him?
Huh?
The difference is one was left on the ground by accident. The other was put in the garbage on purpose.
Hey, you come outside and you're like, where's my trusty old red, white, and blue? I'm sure it weathered the storm just fine. Hey, my flag is gone. But wait a minute. My flag is over there in that guy's trash can. Let me go and get my flag. But first, I'm going to go and give him a piece of my mind.
Hell yeah.
And he's so irate and stupid that he got himself arrested because he can't control. He's a fucking idiot. Why can't these people just comply? Does he think he's above the law because he's a veteran?
All of a sudden, Dillard's on the side of the cops. Look at this. When it's convenient.
I'm not on the side of the cops. I'm on the side of the neighbor who threw it away.
No one's above the law.
Linkovich says, I'm sorry, I thought this was America.
I want to know what the comments say.
Grantis Crosby says there's a specific way to destroy an American flag. Yeah, you let it you let it fly into your neighbor's yard. That's how you destroy it. And this guy obviously didn't give a shit about the proper way because he had his flag up during a storm and it was already soiled. It was an eyesore.
That's not yours to fucking decide, though.
Right.
As the neighbor.
So keep your shit on your property, and when your trash flies over here, chuck it in the bin. Raytor says even the cops are tired of his shit. I'm ending this poll. The poll has officially ended. And 81% of the viewing audience thinks that the poster is an asshole for helping out his neighbor.
I want to know who the others who voted against.
It's my 3 alt accounts.
The 19%. I want names.
Grantis Crosby says letting the flag get into that condition is also disrespect. Yeah, it is.
Typically, yes. But I'm sure because he's a vet, there has to be some kind of sentimental significance to that particular flag.
Tim, Chuck Norris isn't above the law. Chuck Norris is the law.
All right, last story. Should be a quick one. Some background context. I've had the hots for this girl since I met her. She's firmly rejected to go on a date with me. But I'm pretty closely knit with her, though, through my friend group. About 3 weeks ago, she posts on her private Instagram, that she's starting an account on a subscription-based adult website, similar to Patreon. I immediately, being a tech-savvy person I am, find the account and subscribe to it for free. She later changes it to a paid subscription. She starts posting the account, and eventually I tell my best friend, who also follows her private Instagram, I must have missed that detail, that she started this account. Now, obviously, this is where I made the mistake, because after he found out, everyone found out. Through the loop, she found out I was following her and blocked me everywhere. The friend group has mainly stayed neutral, pretty much understanding that this was kind of not my fault, considering I had the hots for her and she decided to start this account. So please let me know if I'm the asshole or she is, or if we all suck.
Yeah, you all suck.
Yes. No, there's no good guy in this scenario.
I still don't understand what the offense was here, though. So
he knows who she is in real life and is following her porn account.
Right.
That's the egregious offense.
What's that? She didn't
she
want to go out with
announced
him
it.
or something, and because he's trying to find a way around it.
But like so she makes an announcement on her Instagram account. Private or not, doesn't matter. You made the announcement. What's the big deal? I mean, unless you just don't want him seeing you naked, I get that. But you block him everywhere?
All right, the poll is in the chat.
So she's blocking her customers. That's like a bitch.
She is. It does not say that he continued after she changed her account to or put it behind a paywall. He was just following her OnlyFans, I'm assuming, or whatever, for free. But then she put it behind a paywall. I don't know. It doesn't say whether he continued after that. But now, I don't know also whether or not she posts on her private Instagram. Now, I don't know how that works because I don't use Instagram. I hear that people use Instagram to sell shit, and they also use Instagram for like their friends that are not family.
Yeah,
so they can talk about their adult stuff that they're doing without their mom seeing what they're doing and all that crap.
So on Instagram, it works pretty much kind of like anything else. If your account's set to private, and I want to follow you, I have to send you a follow request, right? And then you get a notification. Dark Gift wants to follow you, and then you have to approve it. So she had to know that he was following her, at least on the Instagram account.
Yeah, that wasn't the problem. The problem was when he started following her on her OF or whatever it was that she was on. She didn't know that he was following her there, and then when she found out, she was like, "I don't like that because he's part of the friend group. I'm blocking him everywhere. He's a dirty birdie."
So she knew he had the. So I'm rereading this. She knew he had the hots, right?
Yes.
Yes.
She let him follow the private account. Now, the private account is probably an account that she was setting up because a lot of these OF people use like accounts, whether it be Twitter, Instagram, or whatever, as a funnel to get people over to the OnlyFans account. So she's probably posting like scantily clad pictures on this private account.
Praetor says, "Let's ask her father what he thinks."
Right? So she was okay with him watching that. So she knew that he would see this post and probably go and follow OnlyFans. I think the problem is that people outside of like the now know she has an OnlyFans account. I think that's the problem here. Not that he was following her, but because it came from him, she took it out on him, and
she's putting this out on the internet. Like people could find out in a myriad of ways. Like, right. Give me a break.
Right.
So
Everybody,
is he an
yeah.
asshole?
Well, yes, but everybody involved is an asshole as well.
Because he's creeping on his friend. Although she's letting him creep on her. So, yeah, they all suck. They all suck. He's creeping on a friend. She's letting him creep. And she only got pissed off when he opened his mouth and told people about the OnlyFans account.
I don't know. It says, through the loop, she found out that I was following her and blocked me everywhere. I don't know. Because the thing is, he says, once my friend, right? He says, my friend, my best friend, who also follows her private Instagram, but must have missed the detail that she was now posting adult content. This is where I made my mistake, because after he found out, everyone found out. Probably meaning her mama.
The only thing I could think of is like he knew that this private account was her like wearing bikinis and showing her feet and shit like that. Because that's what they do. They have like a basically like a softcore account on Instagram or something, and then they funnel you over to OnlyFans. He probably set up a fake account to follow that account, so maybe she didn't know he was following her. Yeah.
Michael T says, a private account was probably initially a friend group account. She's a tard for converting her main to adult content instead of a secondary. Tim Olson claims that this is a green light for the creeping. Linkovich says, she'll get over it. These hoes with attitudes invent new names and accounts. Praetor says she's just mad that everyone found out. Praetor says, what's the account name? Let's review it live and He does not include the account. Yeah, low fat, she could have had a potential customer. Now, there's like, you know, that dirty hands clause they talk about. Like you can't call up the cops on somebody because they burned you during a drug deal. Right? They're gonna come and arrest everybody if they can. You're not gonna get your money back because they sold you baking soda. You know what I mean? So it's like I can see that being the case, especially in these cases where you hear about on the Twitter where the women's uncles or fathers follow their OnlyFans and they find out that somebody that they're related to is following their porno site. That's like, and the thing is, what the problem with that is that this girl is feeling like she has some sort of a moral high ground to go around and start blocking people. It's like, no, you're a dirty, dirty whore, and whatever happens to you, we should not care because you're being a dirty whore.
Right.
But yeah, everybody sucks in this situation.
Yeah, they're all pervs.
I would say the person that sucks the least in this situation is probably the guy, the original poster. No, his friend, because his friend didn't even know until later.
His friend was the one with the big mouth, though.
Well, he, you know, if your daughter's out there being a whore, somebody ought to tell you about it.
It doesn't sound like he went to the parents. It sounds like he was like, yo, you heard? Fucking Susie got an OnlyFans.
You should see what she's sticking up there. Let's see. Kate says he crept around the paywall and only got caught because he's an asshole with asshole friends to see her asshole. Michael T says everyone in this story is an idiot. Alex says DG is right. He told his best friend, Captain Blabbermouth. Makes sense to me.
Yeah. So I addended my stuff. Like at first I thought she knew he was following the private account, but I'm thinking he, as a creeper, made like an alt account just to follow her private Instagram account, which he then used to go follow the OnlyFans account.
He sends her small amounts of money to see her do things with her feet.
So, and you know he didn't just tell the guy about it. He's probably, yo, check this out. He probably pulled out his phone and started showing pictures to his friend.
Fuck yeah. Hey, remember that bitch, Stacy? Check this out. Can't believe it. What did I tell you? Praetor says, that's assuming a lot, Dark Gift. If that's true, how did she know what account
maybe the best friend told her, because that's the only two things, right? Either she knew he was following the private Instagram account and probably even the OnlyFans account, but just got mad because he opened his mouth, or she didn't know, and then when she found out, like, oh, this guy has access because Blabbermouth told everybody, maybe Blabbermouth was like, oh yeah, his account name is blah 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 blah, so it's one of.
He's like, yeah, Brian showed me. Brian, I'm blocking that piece of shit.
Right, but yeah, if it's an alt account, how would she know what account to block? I'm saying that in that scenario, the Blabbermouth probably told her.
Yeah, he was trying to ingratiate himself. He's this piece of shit.
Yep.
Rachel says these people need better friends. They do, and Jesus, absolutely. There was a hot girl in my friend group, and she turned me down. I'd be like, man, fuck that bitch. I'd be all mad.
I still stand by the fact
around.
that she knew that he was following the account. That's how she knew what account to block, and just got mad because he opened his mouth. But the second scenario B is just a little slightly different scenario where she.
I think she blocked him because her fucking spot got blown up, and she found out he was the one that was telling her.
Because he was also probably showing pictures. That's probably why he got blocked.
As well, he should have.
Yeah.
Doing the Lord's work out there. Nope, no next story, Alex. That's the last story, and we are over time by 7 minutes. I have to get at it. I've gone over my free hours for the week. My free StreamYard hours. All right. We're going to get out of here. Thank you so much. Now, Fusebox, you got something going on.
What's the poll?
What's the poll? He's an asshole.
The poll, did you end the poll?
He just made an executive decision.
I ended the poll. They say, no, he's not an asshole.
Yeah.
63% to 36%.
He's definitely a creeper, but he's not an asshole.
Does being a creeper make you an asshole? Depends how old you are. I say.
I don't know if it makes you an asshole. It kind of makes you sad.
No, if you want to look at it, a girl that you know is naked, and you have a way to do that, and you're like, in your high school age, whatever, that's 100% normal. If you're doing it and you're like 22 plus, yeah, you're in a creeper zone now.
Yeah, but I don't know if it still makes you an asshole. I think it just makes you sad.
Well, okay, yeah.
You could be a nice creeper. He might be the politest guy in the world. He's still a creeper.
All right, if you say so. I'm tired of you fucking sweeping for these fucking perverts, DG.
I'm not sweeping, commie.
Swear to God. Every time some degenerate does something, DG's trying to fucking white knight for him.
I said he sucked.
Or horny. He could just be horny. He's asshole adjacent, says Al.
He's asshole adjacent.
We're going to get out of here. Thank you guys for joining me on Am I the Asshole? I'll see you all on Monday. Fusebox, you got something to pimp? You got any links you want us to send? I know you got a book out right now.
Oh, yeah. I just launched issue 2.
You started yelling at me all of a sudden? Jesus.
Yes. I just launched issue 2 of Outlaw Nights, and I did it on Indiegogo, Fund My Comic, and Kickstarter. So nobody's got any excuses. We're going strong, but we need to get stronger. This is the year of the outlaw. It's got to happen. So everybody in the chat, you should back, because if you don't, I'm going to find you. There you go.
And make you love him.
I'm going to be like this guy in the story. I'm going to find your OnlyFans, and I'm going to do a fake account. And everybody's going to find out.
Yeah.
You guys are gross. I'm not going to find you. You guys do your OnlyFans. I won't look for it. All right. I'm out of here. I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Don't forget to bat the buckler and the mighty golden patriot. Goodbye, everybody.